Hello everyone, and welcome back to another GIS statistics lecture video. And in this video, I want to begin talking about interpolation. Right, and interpolation is sort of this continuation from our discussions in the previous section when we talked about point pattern analysis dealing with categorical points, where we were more curious about how those points were arranged in space, and we didn't necessarily know or care if they had some variable of interest. Whereas interpolation is more so concerned with if our points have some third value, right? They have their coordinates, but they have some third piece of information. It could be populations for cities. It could be the amount of rain gathered at weather stations, right? There's some other piece of information that we care about. What interpolation is going to do is it's going to take a series of discrete points with some data, and it's going to determine, right, data values at locations where there were not points. Right, so let's go ahead and just take a quick, just sort of conceptual example here. Let's say we have 3 points, the red point, this green point, and this purple point. Right, and this has a value of 4, this has a value of 5, and this has a value of 3. Right. You may be interested, okay, well, what is the value at this point? Right, we don't have a point here, but how can we figure out what this value is going to be? That is the point of interpolation. And so what we're going to do over this and over the next series of videos is we're going to talk about sort of 4 ways that we can approach figuring out what the value of this white X would be. We're going to talk about nearest neighbor, we're going to talk about inverse distance weighting, which will lead into this idea of linear interpolation. And then we're going to wrap up talking about kriging. And kriging is a very interesting and complicated topic. It is probably most often the most widely used method of interpolation. But it has a lot of moving pieces, and so we're going to make sure that we spend several videos digging into kriging. So again, just to recap, interpolation is the idea that given a series of points with some data, we're going to figure out what the values are at locations where we don't have those points. And we're going to talk about nearest neighbor, inverse distance weighting, and linear interpolation in kriging. Hopefully this makes sense. Again, not a whole lot of information here. But if any of this doesn't make sense, I encourage you to pause the video, think about what was said, and as always, please reach out. Thank you.